Nikola Milenkovic is a red. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Nottingham. It is the greatest city on the planet. It's home to the greatest football team on the planet. And it needs the greatest auto centre on the planet as well. And you can find this opposite the club shop at Lindley's Auto Centre. Literally a stone's throw away. But they have over 10 sites across Nottinghamshire, so you can access this wherever you are. With a score of 4.8 on Trustpilot, their service is second to none. And you can get such different services from MOTs to car servicing, to tyres, to mobile tyre fittings, not only at your work, but at your home as well. Go check out their website by either scanning the QR code or clicking the link in the description and let them help you with your car needs. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to your latest breaking Nottingham Forest transfer news. If you haven't already, make sure you do go check out the sponsors, Lindley, scan the QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. But let's get into the news. As Romano has now confirmed that Nikola Milenkovic is a redder. Here we go indeed. For £12 million. He will be having his medical, we believe, today. I will let you know as soon as we know he's in Nottingham. And the announcement will follow in a couple of days' time. Now, in terms of the transfer fee, it's as little as £12 million. This is an absolute bargain. We're literally paying £1 million per foot with this guy because he's so tall. 6'5", absolute giant, very dominant at the back with good leadership skills as well. And I like this signing. It feels to me like he's going to be more a Bolly replacement than a Murillo. He plays on the right side of the two at centre back, usually plays in a back four. And he's going to bring so many traits that we were missing last season when Bolly was injured. We know how good Murillo is on the left-hand side. You can't touch him, well, not in my eyes anyway. But to add that height, he's almost like the slightly younger version of Bolly for me in terms of what he can bring. And he's a bit taller as well. Now, what it should do, it should eliminate corner goals. Don't say Jinxerine. It should also add an attacking threat from corners ourselves, because this will allow us some height in the opposition's box where we can potentially maybe score a corner goal this year. So the deal is set to be done. Now, what's interesting about it is Nikola still had 3 years left on his contract. And for Forest to get this one so cheap is very interesting. There are rumours that Forest may have paid him a lot of money in terms of salary, in terms of wages, etc. We don't know yet, but I know a man who does and we'll be speaking to him tomorrow, so make sure you're tuned in for that one. But overall, in terms of how he's going to fit in, will he make the Spain tour? I use the word very loosely. It looks unlikely as Forest is set to fly out in the next day or two, but what will probably happen is exactly what happened with Einar, that he'll just get flown out once everything's signed. So I don't think we'll see him for Sunderland on Friday. We'll probably see him maybe in the Millwall game. Now, in terms of his ulterior position or alternative position, he can play as well as a right back, but I just don't feel that's the correct place for him. I feel like he's a bit too leggy for a right back. You want a right back who can get up and down. And for me, that's not really his game. But in an emergency, we can use him in that position. So how do I feel about this deal? I think, one, the 12 million is a cracking bit of business from Nottingham Forest. I feel as well that he is going to bring us experience. Now, in terms of my concerns, one, he's 27. Look, that's not that old. It's not even close to being old. I just look at it being a 22-year-old thinking, well, that's miles away. But anyway, the point here is that I'm trying to make is that Forest are slightly adjusting their recruitment strategy from what we saw in the first half of the transfer window, where we were getting players under 21, we were getting young, we were getting potential. What Forest have done here is address an issue at centre back where we have Bolly, who has the experience but gets a lot of injuries. And I think Nuno feels it's too risky to just trust in Omar Bamidele to partner Murillo this season, and therefore needs some experience at the back. So it is definitely a slight shift in terms of the policy that Forest have gone for. But when you can bring a player in like this, who a couple of years ago was valued at around 35 to 40 million pounds, with the big six clubs all interested in him, a player who I think had a great Euros. I mean, even Ant turned to me the other day and said, you know what, mate, I actually noticed him, so he must be good in the Euros. So if Ant's noticed him, I think we can just like end the video literally there. So a lot of positives to take from it. Now, the move from Serie A into the Premier League, for me, isn't as simple as it is, say, from the Bundesliga, which I feel has a lot more similar traits to it as the Premier League. So I don't think we need to get on his back too quickly. He's going to need a little while to settle in. He's going to need to understand the club, Nuno's philosophies, the pace of the Premier League, etc. All those buzzwords that we tend to hear. But I do tend to agree with it in this case. But I don't expect him to struggle too long either, to be honest. If he was a bit younger, a bit less experienced, you could potentially see that happening. But I am excited. I am starting to look at this team and I'm starting to think, how high up the league can we go? But then again, I always have this thought every single preseason because I just get giddy thinking about Forest and thoughts of the Frank Clark days and things like that. Anyway, we're a long way off for that. Or are we? And Forest aren't looking to slow down right now. There is further links with another centre-back, but on the left-hand side, which makes my butthole pucker up at the thought that it could be a Murillo replacement, even though they're talking about it being a Niakate replacement. But I want to fully focus on Nikola on this video to give you everything we know. Now, in terms of the length of the contract, we don't know for sure, but we believe it's either 4 or 5 years with him. And that tends to be the genuine policy with Forest as of late, unless it's a free signing like Ole Einar. So why? Because, of course, the amortization, it helps if you can spread it out over 4 or 5 years. It reduces that cost. So if this is a 4-year contract at 12 million, you're looking at only 3 million on the PSR books a year. Absolute bargain. So a lot is right in this deal, from the finances to the player profile, to the experience he can bring. But I still do think we've got to give him a little bit of time just to settle in. He needs the full pre-season. And this is what's important about what Forest are doing. What I'm hoping is that when we do the transfer deadline stream at the end of this, we're just sitting there literally staring at the screen, talking about nothing, because Forest have done all their business early on. What we've lacked over the last couple of seasons is a full pre-season for the majority of the squad to gel, to get minutes in the legs, to do all that kind of crap with. We've bought too many players at the 11th hour on the final day, and then we're still trying to find our feet, a month or two into the actual league. And that's the games that do count. So we are expecting Forest to do their business early. We've seen a lot of business happening. We know there's another right winger coming in. We know there's potentially another striker coming in as well. And I would like to hope another midfielder. But this is one happy puppy today. This is a great signing. And what's definitely for sure is the likes of Sirianos definitely plays Football Manager, because the players we are linked to are all these wonder kids, all these players that develop beautifully on Football Manager. So Sirianos, I salute you. I salute you. Make sure you check the FIFA stats out as well, not just the Football Manager stats. I'm joking. Anyway, so that's the news for you today. We will have a transfer roundup video probably later on as well, because there's a lot going on. We've got to talk about Taiwo. So much to unpack currently with Nottingham Forest. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And check out the sponsors of the video today, Lindley. Go check their website out. Book your car in if you need an MOT or if you need new tires or anything like that. 10 different locations across Nottingham. We'll see you on the next video. And come on, you Reds.